Hello everybody, my name is Brandy and you're watching From Debt to Dreams. On this channel, we use what we have to pay off our debt so that we can accomplish our dreams. Today what we're doing is we are going to be going over our final numbers for January and going over our debt progress, which not a lot was made this month because I started the debt binder, but yeah, so let's get into it. So first, let's go into my Budget by Paycheck Workbook. This is made by the Budget Mom. In my budget check-in videos, I have already gone through the closing out of my budget cycles, but those are important to know because that's where I got the monthly budget numbers from. I took the numbers that I budgeted in this pay cycle and this pay cycle to come up with our monthly budget. So here's what we did. I'm very excited about this one. So for our household, we were under budget. For groceries, we were under budget. Cars, we were under budget. Utilities, we were under budget. Takeout, we spent for a family of 4, and with takeout being a crux of ours on the weekends for sure, we spent $298.01, which is actually like really good for us. I really feel like we tried really, really hard to not do that, but for a family of 4, like that money doesn't go very far. We were under budget with tithes, unfortunately, but that's all right. Health, we were over budget, because I had some copays and some prescriptions that came in that I wasn't prepared for. Kids, we were over. I did not budget any money for kids. However, we had the money for this. We got a couple of pairs of pants for the kids, and then then we went to the Scout store and bought some things for my son. My husband was over budget a little bit. I did not budget anything for myself, and I spent $31. Our annual fees I was not expecting. Another one of them I was expecting, so that was $172. Nothing for our dog. And when I write down nothing for my dog, I'm like, oh, but we feed her, but her dog food comes out of, I consider that a grocery budget. Savings, we were over budget, which was wonderful. For debt, we were over what we had planned. For fun, we were a little over what we had planned. Celebrations, nothing. And then school, we were just a teeny tiny bit over. And then for the debt binder, we did pull $200 out of our budget for the debt binder. I say only 160 right here, even though we did pull out a total of 200, because we did make an extra $40 payment with the money from the debt binder. So this is the money that's how much money is sitting in my debt binder currently right now, waiting for challenges to be complete, which is, I'm training myself to be patient because the challenges that I do in the debt binder are really fun. But it's really hard to see that number right here and not see my credit card payment go down. So it's a 0 interest credit card. So like, I'm not super worried about interest right now, but so anyway, once the debt binder gets going, I think it's going to be easier. Plus I decided to, instead of doing it 4 times a month with $50 each, one of my challenges is very, very spicy. And, so I'm going to be doing it twice a month with $100 each. So hopefully we'll get through some of these, challenges. So, our total monthly inflow this month was $8,591.15. For our total expenses, we planned on $7,713, and we ended up spending $8,357.48. So if you subtract 8,357 minus 8,500 if you subtract this from this, yes, I was right, then you come up with $233.67, which is awesome because my ending balance in my checking account and in our cash envelopes that we have rolling over is $236.68 or 69 cents. So my ending balance, like the actual ending balance that I have, I'm just over by $3.02, which, like, if you have watched any of my other monthly closeouts, I have been way over, and so I'm like really excited to see that I'm like I'm closer here than I like ever have been. That is fairly exciting. The next part I want totally just bumped you. Oh my gosh. My apologies. The next part, we're going to take a break from these pages in here and we're going to go into my debt binder and do some coloring. All right, so here is the debt binder. And I have myself a little cheat sheet right here that I'm going to pull off and put to the side so I know what I'm doing. All right, so since I've started this channel, we have paid off one of the accounts. So that is exciting. So I'm going to keep that there. We paid that off in December of 2024. And my chart is all colored in. I get these charts from debtfreecharts.com. Here is the account that we're working on right now. It's Capital One. In January, we made an $80 payment. We made a total of $80 in payments. So our remaining balance is now $751.29. Our starting balance was $906.75. So each little icon on here is $9.07, and I get to color in 9 of them today. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'll be right back. All right. So there we have it. That's exciting. All right, the next one is the care credit card we have in my name. And we paid our minimum payment, which was $193, which means our remaining balance now is $2,785.33. Each of these little goobers over here are $20.87, and I get to fill in 6 of them. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. All right. I just called them goobers. That's funny. The next one is Ashley Furniture. This one, we made our minimum payment of $45, so we now have $736.95, which means in here I get to color in 5 little spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll be right back. Perfect. For our Rooms to Go furniture credit card, we made our minimum payment of $83, and it's now the remaining balance is $2,066.28. And each leaf is $24, so I get to fill in 3 leaves. All right. Our Visa credit card, this one is kicking our butts. We made a minimum payment of $96, and we now have a balance of $4,750.10, which means I get to fill in 1 little thing. Each little thing is $50. So with, I wanted to say insurance, with interest and everything, we haven't gotten very far on that one, but that's okay. This one is a personal loan. We took out this personal loan to help us replace an engine in one of our vehicles. We made our minimum payment of $258, which means our balance is now, which means our balance is now $6,151.34. And I get to fill in 3 of these squares. Okay. I love this one. This one is probably one of my favorite ones. So cool. All right. The next one is the Costco City credit card. This is one where we're having a really hard time not spending money on it. And unfortunately, we spent a little bit, just a little bit. We did make a payment of $402, but unfortunately, our balance is still $15,185.76. I can't even tell you what I spent this on. It was, oh, you know what? It was our scouting fees, our Cub Scouting fees were due this month, and I just didn't have the cash to pay for it. And the money that we have sitting in our savings account that would have been able to pay for it is actually being saved for something else. And I don't want to put that something else on this credit card. So I had to put scouting fees on there. So that's what it was. Plus all the interest that we pay, because it's a 20% interest rate, which is just, ugh, I hate it. But unfortunately, once again, we don't get to color anything on this road. So, but that's all right. We'll get there. For our CarMax, which is our Nissan Rogue that we bought over the summer. Oh man, the summer of 2024 was hard for us, but we're going to move on. January, we paid our minimum payment of $325.06, which means our balance is now $15,030.72, and I get to color in 2 spots on our little road here. Yay. Cute. For our private student loan, this is a student loan that I took out when I moved to North Carolina from Utah to go to school, like a dummy. We made our minimum payment of $296.42, and so our balance went down to $15,942.38. So I get to finally, after how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4. I get to finally plug in another one, or color in another one. Each doodle of these is $164, so it looks like every 2 months we're going to be able to color in a doodle, but I'll be right back. Okay. All right, this one right here is what I used to watch our mortgage balance go down. Each of these little Tetris pieces is $1,449.28. So unfortunately, where our mortgage balance is right now is not enough for me to color in the next square, which is fine. Maybe we'll get there next month, maybe we won't. And then this is our total debt-free chart. This one is really exciting for me, but unfortunately the next one is $432,494, and that's just not quite where we are yet. So let's close this up. I love coloring in those charts. They make me happy. And let's go back to this and let's talk about our debt for a minute. So here are all the balances and everything. What I like to do is I like to go over how much I spent on debt payments, how much I spent on the interest, and then what's my total remaining balance. So in December of 2024, we paid $731 in interest. This month, we are $729 interest. So that's cool. It went down a couple of dollars. Our total debt balance in December of 2024 was $436,128.42. We are down to $434,221.66. So that's really cool. And our total principal that we paid in January was $1,906.76, which is awesome. And then I like to do this just because it's kind of fun, even though it's a little silly to me because we're in the way negatives. But so our net worth, you do your assets minus, or your total assets minus your liabilities, right? Well, I don't count my home equity. I don't count, we have a paid off car. I don't count like anything like our retirement accounts, nothing like that. So like this number is just for fun and for laughs and giggles, because it's not going to be completely accurate because I don't have all those other things listed on here. I know we have equity in our home. We have quite a lot of it. I know that we, our car, our paid off car is an asset. It's worth something. I know my husband and I both have retirement accounts. I'm just not going to add those on there because I don't want to have to look up every time, what's our house worth? What's this? What's this? Because that means nothing to me until it's time to start selling it. So all I know is that I owe money on it. And with our car, cars' values go down all the time anyway. I don't really consider those assets, especially because even though it's paid off, it's still a liability to me because I'm going to have to, there's the cost of keeping it up. So I don't count that as an asset. So anyway, in all of our bank accounts that we have at our credit union, at the end of my period of tracking these things in January, from January 3rd to January 30th, we had $4,459.36. That was our savings account, that's our income account, that's our checking account, and that's a really small account we have for my boys. In my cash envelopes, we had $71, and in my sinking fund envelopes, there's $445, which means our total assets is at $4,975.36. So when you minus my liabilities from your assets, my liabilities is $434,221.66. We are at a negative $429,246.30. But the good news is that went up by $1,100 because last month we were at $430,000. Now we're at $429,000. So that's exciting. It is fun to watch that go down. It sounds so silly to me because including our mortgage, we're in over $400,000 of debt. So this is just kind of funny and silly to me. But also it's kind of fun to see that, like, oh wow, that number is still, like, we're getting back, we're closer, just a little bit closer to the positive. Not a lot closer, but a little closer. So anyway, that's that. And then one of the cool things about the Budget Moms workbook is that in the front here, she has your yearly spending overview. And so from all the categories, I put them all in here. I put what our earned income was, how much our other income was. I put in all of our expenses, what our total expenses was, our savings balances, our debt balance, and my net worth balance. So this is going to be kind of fun as this moves forward in the year. It's going to be fun to see what these numbers look like and where the trends and stuff are. As I was writing these down, I realized I was putting the cents, and I don't like to do that when there's such little space. So the next few months, if I remember, I probably won't be writing like 2329.49. It would probably just be 2329, or even 2330, just rounding it up. So anyway, that is that. Yeah, so that's that. Thank you so much for being here with me today as we went through coloring and the debt stuff and going through the debt balances and all these kinds of things. I love watching these kinds of videos. I hope I didn't make this one too boring for you. I really love coloring in my sheets. It's really fun to watch them, even if I only get to color in a box or two. It's nice to see those things get filled up as they go along. I am excited that the debt binder, as I start completing challenges in there, I'm excited to see more debt progress being made with that debt binder. So anyway, my friends, I hope that you have a really fantastic day. Tomorrow I will be on with my weekly budget check-in, and yeah, I hope that you consider sticking around. All right, my friends, I hope you have a lovely day. I will talk to you another time. Bye. Hello, fellow budgeters. My name is Brandy, and you're watching From Debt to Dreams. In this music video,